Hey y'all. Good morning from Georgia. 8A or B. Let's say 8AB until I figure it out. I wanted to take y'all really along to watch mainly what I'm doing. I had a subscriber that told me a little bit about what she's doing and asked me to record a video about this subject, which is how do you start your plants off? If you buy starts, do you plant them in the ground? Do you plant them in a bed? Okay, we're gonna talk about that in a second. All right, so let's chat while I water. All right, so first and foremost, I'm gonna give you the short answer, and then the video is gonna be the long answer. The short answer is, it's your prerogative, like Bobby Brown say. You could do what you wanna do, okay? Right here, what you're seeing is a bed of starts. I actually haven't direct planted anything that you're seeing at the moment. And so this is watermelons, onions. I'm using onions as my deterrent plant or trap crop or whatever you want to call it. We'll see how it functions because this is my first time doing this, but you'll see that I have onions in almost every bed or every row that I plant. But yeah, we have mainly, this is a lettuce bed. We have different romaines, but I can't truly say that because we have peppers, and on the outer edges we have cumbers and watermelons. So yeah, as far as the spacing, usually when you get starts, it'll tell you how far to space them apart. Here's something that I'm just gonna be honest with, that I don't really know, and I'll figure it out along the way. Is like, okay, so sorry, your start will say on the back, it'll say, you know, 8 inches apart. I'm wondering, does that mean 8 inches apart from any plant or the same plant? Because guess what I'm doing? I'll give it, say if I'm planting tomatoes, I'll do 12 inches apart. But in between those 12 inches, I'm planting something that if the tomato bushes out, I'm planting something that trellises up in between it. That's my strategy. That's what I'm doing. So that is really it. Like, you need to purchase you some, here, let me take you over here. So if you get some starts, you get you some soil, you get you some black cow, you get you some peat moss, and it was something else that I had that was white. I forgot what you call it. But regardless if I ever think about what that is, those 3 things are a great starting mix. And then you can use fish fertilizer, coffee grounds, and eggshell grindings to sustain you for the rest of the time. So right here is some regular sweet potato and purple sweet potato and regular potato. That's what I got going on in here. I don't think and then I did a couple onions. I need to come weed around here. So that's the answer if you want to do a bed. If you want to do a row or in-ground planting, this is what it looks like to start off with. So if you've been keeping up with us, you've seen me till this. I tilled this about 2 weeks ago, y'all, and I haven't got a chance to come cover it, and it's really breaking my heart because I know I'm not gonna be able to to come out here and till this again. Like, you know, I'm 7 months pregnant and it's not gonna be the best use of my time. So I'm gonna cover it just like it is. Now I am gonna come in with my tools that I don't know the name of and you know, try to get some of this grass up. And the reason why is, I mean, you want the land to be as bare as you could possibly get it before you cover it, but also because I still need to fill these boxes. So I figured I could fill them with some kind of weeds. I hope that don't come back and bite me in the butt. But this is fully covered at the bottom. I'm pretty confident about that weeds won't come up from the ground and connect to the dead weeds that I throw on top of this cardboard before I put my soil mix in here. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm doing both, and I don't know if I'm gonna get, well, how about this? I know I'm not gonna get to the in-ground part today, but catch me on the next video. I got you. However, let's talk about purchasing starts and how quickly you need to get them in something, you know, in the ground or in a bigger pot or something. Look at this. Now, I watered and fertilized everything in this garden 2 days ago. And my babies are still struggling. I think this is eggplant. So I'm just like feeling so rushed to get this done. And so that's why I'm doing a lot of talking right now. But in a minute, it's gonna be voiceover and watch me work. Because one, I'm fighting heat. And then I'm fighting limitations of energy. Okay, like I said, I am pregnant. And honey, I came out here Monday and did this bed over here. Let me show you. I'm watering this cardboard. Sorry if the angles are crazy. I'm handing this thing. I'm gonna wet this cardboard. But this is what I did. So this is the bed that I did over here. And then I moved a lot of my plants from my perimeter garden from last year over here. Why? It needs to be weeded and remulched, for one. And two, I'm hand watering. So what makes the most sense is to have as many plants as I can in here, so that if I need to use my waterer, honey, it takes 1 or 2 trips to refill for me to do whatever's outside of this fence. And typically what I'm gonna be keeping outside of this fence is herbs that are not full sun herbs, like mint. Aloe is not an herb, but aloe doesn't do well in the heat. Everything else is slowly but surely getting moved. So only thing over there now is vines, and then some buckets of soil that once had, you know, plants in them from the winter or last year, sometime last year, that I haven't turned over. Nevertheless, that's what I did yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. Was it Monday? No, it was Monday. Today is Thursday. So 2 days ago I did that. Honey, do you know it took me 2 days to recover? 2 days. 2 days. So I have to be very mindful of in the way in which I work. So here's my strategy today. It's about 10:30. If I would have got out here an hour earlier, I would have probably had more time to work, but that's okay.
Could you try again?
Be quiet, Siri. So I'm just gonna work until 90 minutes, about 90 minutes, and then I'm gonna call it quits. And then when evening hits around 5 or 6, if I have it in me, I'm gonna come back out and do a little bit more. And I'm gonna do the same thing on Friday before Shabbat, do the same thing on Sunday, and see if I can't get these beds filled, get this ground plowed, hand plowed as much as I can and covered, and get every single start that I have in some kind of soil. Some starts I did put in I just up potted them. Like these Georgia collards that said that they were partial sun. Well, I have this here. So I said, I don't have any beds or any rows that's gonna be full sun. So I put them in pots with onions. Did I plant that wrong? Girl, look, I was tired as I don't know what. Planted that bad boy root up. Sorry. All right, so Georgia collards over here. Yes, Kamara. Okay, give me a hug. They love to love on you when you busy. Oh, here go the white stuff I was talking about. Get you some perlite. Okay? Get you some perlite. Get you some black cow. And yeah. Now if you doing if you got a patch that you could till it up. If you don't have any landscape fabric, honey, if I had enough cardboard, I would cardboard this whole thing and cut holes, probably not burn, cut holes in them to plant, you know, throughout. And then in the next season, then I'll do some landscape fabric. Listen, go where your budget will allow you to thrive. Don't go broke trying to do this because it's a process anyway. Like, I really wanted this here, but baby, we got this whole farm we funding. We got bills, everything going up. We going from 3 to 4 kids, paying for the birth out of pocket, getting ready for the baby. Want to do a little traveling this summer. So how do we do all of that but still follow Yah's, really his call for his people right now, which is getting black to the land? Catch it. Okay, do what you can and do it with excellence. So I had some beds already, added some I soiled them up because the soil had depleted. My gracious husband just felt like making these boxes for me, so he had at it. The dogs tore this up. This was for their water. Spray painted that. I'm gonna spray paint this shelf over here as well, and then a lot of those plants are gonna go on this shelf. That's why they're not on the shelf yet. But it's progress. It's not as beautiful as I want it to be, but hell, look, let's grow some food. Like, check this out here. This is the last thing I'm gonna say before I get to work. What's this? This is a tomato. Okay. This is a yellow pear tomato. For one, it say full sun, 36 inches apart, which, if I'm not mistaken, that means probably 1 tomato a pot, which I did not do. However, after I get them, you know, up potted or whatever, I think I may come back through here and replant some stuff, because I am for it to thrive, but it's like, it's so much going on in terms of getting all these plants in the ground. I'm gonna do the best I can and then figure it out later. Wow, my coffee fell. So that's, you know, it's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be perfect, but you can fix it along the way. But what I would hate is if, like, cause that tomato is doing good. Like, that was a start that I bought. This is how long the start off as. I put that in the ground 2 weeks ago when I bought it, and it's doing really well. Look how tall it is. Like, look how tall it is. It's gonna need trellising soon. Oh, come on and work with me, right? It's gonna need trellising soon. So we just want to keep these plants alive and figure it out along the way. I know once I get soil, get this covered, then I'll say, okay, let's do 2 days of fixing what I messed up. Go through here and say, okay, this bed is overcrowded. Okay, I actually have spaces prepped to move things, right? And then you got to think too, okay, you bought starts, go ahead and start some seeds too, so that you won't have to buy starts again in the summer. Because these starts, I mean, prayerfully they're gonna last throughout the whole season, spring and summer. But I mean, for the most part, one season is a blessing as is. So you always want to be planting for another season. The reason why I'm wetting this is because I plan on soiling these out. I'm just gonna do these 2. I ain't gonna be unrealistic and think I'm doing 3. So anyway, I'm done talking y'all head off. I love when y'all give me questions, because y'all, we are different in terms of set apart gardens. We're not here for entertainment. We're here to educate and build community. Build community of regular human beings who don't know the actual names. This is the typical person that will probably follow us. Don't know the real names of everything. They're just getting their feet wet, but they have this undescribable desire to be set apart in living. They have a desire to do something that they've never seen anybody do. Okay, so I'm talking while I'm screwing this on, and so that's who we're here for. So the more y'all tell us what you need, the more we can create content that fulfills your needs, and then our purpose is being brought out, and then your obedience is being brought out because you're following the instructions and the learnings that you're getting from us, and it's all working together for the good of Yahuwah, huh? All right, time to work. Hush, Reese.
Oh.
Don't mess with that camera back.
Okay. Whoa.
Really?
I love looking at the camera.
See how this works out. Here, bring it over here. Bring it over here. So then you're gonna shovel this dirt, this pile of dirt, in this bucket. There. Gotta bend down and get some with your hand. Probably gotta get some of that dirt on there with your hand. Feel? Just get it in the bucket. Just get the dirt in the bucket. You wanna pick it up with your hand? Pick up the dirt and put it in the bucket. Okay. Good. Keep going. All that bucket, all that. Get a bigger pile. Bigger pile of dirt to put in there in the bucket. So for those of you who haven't watched our shorts, right? Because I've tried to keep you abreast with the shorts. I got some sticks that was laying around, broke them down a little bit. Then I got some cardboard from our old Amazon boxes. Tried not to get any that had color on them, as that color dye will fall off of the paper as the water hits it and potentially contaminate plants. Try to stay away from paper and cardboard that had dye on it. Nevertheless, you've got sticks, cardboard. Now you're seeing me with the third layer doing some weed filled, grass filled soil, and then my last layer will be of the mixture that I spoke of earlier with the perlite, the black cow, the peat moss, the regular soil. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Here's a closer look, right? So let's see, I got the sticks under here, and I don't mind if that soil falls through the cracks here. I'll start wanting to even it out before I put the soil on there. So this will get better with time. Being that this is ideally what you would want to do is prep your beds before you plant them. But I don't have that luxury of time. So I'm going to plant these out as soon as I fill them. But next year, this cardboard will have broken down, and so is our sticks, and it'll just be even better. However, I do think that putting our soil in here gives us more nutritious soil, because, or I mean overall, a nutritious bed overall, because our soil is like literally cake. It's, you see how beautiful it is. It's not even wet. It's nutritious and healthy. Okay. Now, this weed is not going in my bed. I hate this thing. Hate is a strong word, and I used it correctly. All right, y'all. So let me show y'all what I'm doing while I'm hand plowing. I'm doing a couple things at once. As I'm filling up these buckets, I'm filling up my beds, and then I'm prepping my beds for the last step, which is soil. And then they'll be ready to get planted out. Then I'm also watering. So let's stick together with this method, right? Hold on, let me see if y'all can see. Y'all can't. And girl, listen, I got watermelon, grapefruit. Yeah, watermelon, grapefruit, and green apple, and coconut water. Yes. Okay, get you an inexpensive juicer, and you need to be juicing at least 2 seasons out of the year, mama, because that watermelon juice is arguably the cold pressed ones with no added sugars. It's arguably, in my opinion, more hydrating than water. So I took the head off of here for my deeper beds and pots, and then I put the head back on and sprinkle my my little seedlings. So that's what I'm doing now. As I'm watering, I realize maybe I'm tripping, so let me say that first. I believe I've got space in between my onions right here. Some of these is weeds. I know what's weeds, and I know how I planted them. Like I planted them the way they're popping up. So anything that's not uniform in the line is weeds, other than what's on the parameters, which is okra and beans. And then I did some collards too on this side, Georgia collards, and this is them popping up. This, I don't know if that's a collard, but that's a masculine green there, and I think these are seedlings of the collards. I also had a massive fire ant infestation in which I put grits on, like grandmama said, and guess what? It worked. But anyway, I'm looking in between these rows and I'm like, yo, I can plant at least 12. I'm gonna try to fit 12 plants in between these rows. I do not know how eggplants grow. Like, I don't know if they vine or not. But I'm taking a quick little break. Really, I'm about to have to close out. Where's my phone at? Oh. So I'm about to Google it real quick in real time so you can see this is how it works. So what I need to do for that space, that particular space that I just pointed out to y'all, is ideally I would find something that doesn't need to be staked or trellised. Why? Because it's in the middle of a bed, and that's more work for me to have to do. Now, if I had all this set up and this wasn't, like, next year, I probably won't care because I didn't start all this stuff from scratch, right? I'm gonna have beds that's just gonna need to get topped off. You know, it's just gonna be different. Oh my gosh. Siri, girl, be quiet, please. Aggravating the... I got AirPods on. So, I do have peppers. I got peppers, and I have full sun broccoli. But, so I think I'm gonna do peppers. This is 6, 7. I said I'm gonna do 12. 7. Then I got, oh, can y'all see? 7. So this is 12, 13. All right, I'm about to see if I can do this. About to see. All right, so you see the balance, right? So look, sometimes if you don't think about it, it'll be all right. I almost did half of this field, and it looks a lot better than it did, right? Where it had, you know, a lot more grass, but I done kind of roughed it up a little bit. But here's the deal. That means by Sunday, by the end of Sunday, I gotta have this covered. I'm gonna have to be out here doing that again without beds to actually fill. Which, you know how crazy we are, right? So, you know I'm already thinking about getting one more bed over here. But don't you think it'll make some sense? I have a bed right here. I already have a bed. Do you see? Yo, this is 200 onions. 200 onions right here, right? Why don't I do an identical bed right here? You can plant so much food in this. So I am gonna do that. However, I'm not gonna wait to plant nothing out, because you see how it's a process. It is a freaking process. And of course, can you see real good? Let me see. Ideally, what I would like to do is, I lost my train of thought. Oh, let me go ahead and fill up my water while I'm talking. Ideally, what I would like to do is have more than a single border, right? So you see how that's a single border of wood around? I would like to stack it to at least 2 more, so it's 3, so it's higher. But these are like these little things that's not necessarily gonna help you grow more food. It's just gonna be more aesthetically pleasing, and I'll be bending a lot less. So I had a bright idea. We always have a little bit of coffee left over from our coffee pot. I'm already collecting the grounds. I said, okay, what's the difference between the leftover coffee in the pot and putting the grounds in the bottom of your waterer and filling it up with water? What I would think is more concentration from the pot, most likely, but that's about it. Well, is that bad? I don't think it is. So guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to put the remaining coffee in my little waterer here. And then take my hose here. Note to self, don't get the camera wet. Fill this up. And as I plant my broccoli and my peppers over there, I'm gonna wet the roots with this and obviously water them in as well. I've already watered that bed. That bed is hard as heck to water. Y'all give me some hacks on hand watering, because truth be told, it's a lot to try to balance. I have about like 3 to 4 hours a week to get out in the garden. So I have to figure out, okay, what am I going to prioritize? Setting up irrigation or planting out starts? Like, okay, prepping the soil and getting my boxes ready to be potted up. I mean, for my plants to be potted, or irrigation. Irrigation always ends up being the last thing on my list. Why? Because I can always hand water. It's definitely not something that, you know, I'm excited to do day in and day out. And I'm always looking for efficient ways to do that. But can I be real with y'all? Here's what I'm noticing in the world. There are more and more resources on how to skip steps and do things quote unquote efficiently versus how to do things the original way well. I pause for a reason. Think about what I'm saying. I'm gonna be real with you. My mama and grandma always taught me that if you do it right the first time, you ain't got to do it again. So in my mind, I would rather learn how to, let's talk about, like, let's just use something, for example, as something as simple, and I'm sorry about all the camera stuff, something as simple as sweeping, right? If you learn how to sweep first, then you get one of them robots that sweep for you, or you get a Bissell electric sweeper. It's Lux, but if it breaks, which it will, you still can keep your house clean. So that's my mindset, sorry, and philosophy on half of the stuff going on with gardening. Like, it's hard to find resources, and I'm sorry for the hard breathing, but listen, I'm carrying another human, hell. It's hard to find resources that will teach you how to do it the original way first. It's so bad now that it's considered original and ancient. What I'm talking about, people will look at me crazy, which is why I don't really too much fool with people. Like, if you think that what I'm saying is nuts, I'm cool with that, but hear me out. it's the people that, the first thing I'm about to plant is a sweet bell pepper. I'm not even gonna measure or none of that. I'm just about to do it. But yeah, people will, you know, just not hear you out. Just like, she's crazy, whatever. But bottom line, it's hard. So, okay, I was talking about irrigation. Before we get to electric timers, all of that, what was done before then? Because think about it. This is what people are doing. Okay? People are doing the electric way first, then backtracking, and some people who are smart, if you ask me, then backtracking and trying to figure out how they can get irrigation without electricity. Why not start off with the main goal in mind, which is self-sufficiency? Why not? So, how do you irrigate? What are the different ways to irrigate your garden? I think I'm gonna do this. It might be easier to pop them out. Your garden without electricity, and preferably without electricity means if you don't have a well, then you gotta create or connect your garden to an already natural water source. So what I'm thinking about is barrels. I'm thinking about getting rainwater barrels, but it's a lot of research with that, so I won't bore you with it. And Lead Farmer, my guy, he was like, he has this little tool that's, I think he plugged it up to his generator, the portable generator. And so then he'll use it for his, well, he used to have like he still does, but it's a different land if you're not following him. He used to have like a lake or like a stream that was right by his house, and now the stream on his new property is not as close, so he then uses that same connector in a barrel that collects rainwater, plugs it up to his generator, solar power generator, and that is how he's getting irrigation and water. That's more of my speed of what I want to do in terms of irrigating my garden. Let's go ahead and not depend on technology. Well, electricity required technology from the get-go. I'm not interested in timers and all that. I'm really not. Okay? All right, so now let me take y'all in and show y'all what I'm about to do. Let me get my tools. And if my measuring tape, I'm gonna have to bend down, open up stuff to get it. I think I'm gonna use this. Don't touch nothing, Kamara. Look, you gotta tell them, okay? Because they be plotting. You see right here? So this is where I planted my first pepper. I'm gonna just eyeball it and plant my second pepper right here. Third pepper, and look, I'm walking through the rows. Third pepper here. And I got something growing right there that looked like a real plant. Fourth, okay. I know this is a weed, so go ahead and get my weed up. So you see how I'm making, it's not gonna be so straight because it looked like these onions, the rows got thinner, so I'm gonna stop right here, pull up this weed, and plant a pepper right here, and then come over here. This is a weed. Okay, I'm making a space already. That's a weed too. That's a weed. See how I'm making my trench? Okay, if it was something right there, you would see. Like if I had an onion that hadn't popped up. So I'm seeing 3 peppers right here. Well, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, I don't even think I got 8. I got 5 more. Okay, so that's 5 more peppers. Now, I need to make spots for my broccoli. I'm trying to keep it organized where I got pepper roll, then broccoli roll, which this is looking like a promising broccoli roll. This is looking like 4 broccolis. And then I got okras on this side, but right here I'm gonna make a space for my broccoli. This is how I'm planning mine out. Shoot. Because my time is about to be up, and let me tell you something, I learned my lesson. I will not be out here past 90 minutes, baby. I shall not. So the fact that I was able to water some plants, weed some rows, prep, almost get done with 2 beds, which is my goal for today. If I quit earlier today, I might be able to come out here come nightfall and see, look, I'm not even touching this over here, but I think I am. I think I'm gonna just make spaces and come back and go get some more peppers and come back, because the goal is to get this joint planted out. And look, I might be a crazy person, because after I get everything planted out, I told y'all I'm gonna come back in after doing more research and see if I planted stuff too close and up pot them. But by then they'll be up potted, they'll be growing well, but probably not the best for their next stage. This is just my thoughts. Probably not for the next stage of life, which is fruit, right? Because we have starts thriving in this way, and then fruit harvest. That's kind of how it works. So, all right, this is my peppers. So I'm about to pop them all out. I wet the roots with my coffee water. Ooh, thank you. Bless Yah. Make sure I'm covered. Bless Yah. He gave me a little bit of shade. This is my last activity. I'm gonna have to wrap it up after this, and then pray that I can come back out. But if I can't, you know, I beat myself up about that sometimes. I do. Oh, I beat myself up. And this is what I like about buying starts. Okay, go play, because we finna go in a minute, and please don't complain. Whatever you do, don't come to me complaining about nothing, and then we gonna be good. Me and you gonna be straight. You come complaining, you're gonna come sit right back down, okay? But this is what I like about buying starts. You buy the start and you buy the starter kits, because I needed more starter kits. So once you pop out your starts, keep your starter kit. The price makes a little bit more sense that way, if you ask me. So okay, my broccoli roll. So then, see how I'm doing it? So then, that's too close together. I could just eyeball it. I ain't saying my eyeballing is accurate, but I'm trying within at least length. Width is a little close, but I'm not too worried about broccoli and onions being close together. But within length, I'm not gonna try to crowd the row, right? So these two are too close. So I keep this right here. That's too close. I'll keep that one right there and plop this one here, and then I'll move this one over here. I thought I had one more space because I need one more space. So then 1, 2, Yep, like I said, 4 in a row. And then I need to find a space right here. I'll find it right here. Yep. And then, all right. So, broccoli. These 2 rows I did, sorry. These 2 rows I did with broccoli. Then I did 3 rows in between. Look, I'm about to weed that. 3 rows. I don't even think, look, I didn't do nothing on this row. So just to sure is I got peppers. I got a whole row through these onions that I could do some more peppers, and it'll be that far apart. I don't know how far that is, but it ain't too close if you ask me. I don't know if these are vining or if they bush out. I don't know, but I do know if I keep them in the containers I bought them in, they gonna die. So off camera, I was able to get another 6 count of jalapenos in the ground. So I got a bell pepper, 1 bell pepper, 12 jalapenos, and 6 broccolis in this bed that has 200 onions in it, and okra and beans, collards, and watermelon around the perimeter. Collards are on this side, which is why I think my peppers are far enough, right? They're gonna grow right here. Collards. Look at how far the collard is. That's a potato. From the potato, I think that'll be fine, but we'll see. This look like it's okra. It look like a volunteer. We just gonna see. But anyway, I got it out of container, and I can always plant it. I mean, pull it up and change its home, because it'll have a freaking home, because everything won't be under construction. This will be done and ready to be planted out, and so will those 3 beds plus this one that hasn't even been created yet. So y'all, that's gonna do it. I'm about to water those in real quick. Come across here, see if I got some more peppers while I'm thinking about it to put in that other row. I could fit 6 more. These are peppers. What kind of peppers are these? These are bell peppers. I like that I'm doing bell peppers by jalapenos, because bell peppers are bigger. So if they bush out, if all of them bush out, then it'll be small pepper by big pepper, small pepper by big pepper, and it won't be 2 bushy big peppers. So I'm about to finish planting this row, water this bed in. I have to decide between covering the ground that I did do and finishing watering my plants. It's hard because I don't have that much more time. An ant is biting me, so I have to figure that out. But for those of you who steady ask me, how do you do it? This is how. 2 out of 3 of my kids sleep. 1 of them out here with me. I let them sleep in too, all summer. They're gonna be sleeping in. Why? Because what's more important, me growing my food or me getting up early in the morning and having more to worry about? Just saying. Y'all think about that. I'm not. I'm out. Remember what hubby always says. If you give them the power to feed you, you give them the power to starve you. And we out.
Arms over Baghdad. Really ain't that bad. Little wiretap, yes, yes. Little dodge in the IRS. Little haven from the taxman.